Hello my loves, I'm Ellie Frost. Thank you so much for being on my channel where we are talking about the multi-dimensional approach to rapidly and radically healing and transforming during and after narcissistic abuse. And this video I'm calling "When You Make the Narcissist Your God, You Block Divine Intervention." So let me explain it. And I don't want you to feel bad about it because it's not a blame game, right? But many people, myself included, during these cycles will pray or if you know, depending on what you believe, but like you'll want divine intervention. You'll want to call on a higher power. You'll want to understand this spiritually. It is a spiritual issue. It has to be dealt with spiritually. When you make anything on this planet your God, above God, right, you're kind of blocking divine intervention. You're blocking the truth in a lot of ways, right? So if the narcissist is your source of love, approval, survival and security on the planet, if you make them the source of that, not your spiritual connection, then how can the divine intervene and help you? Because you're saying this person is above God, which is what they want you to believe, right? So if you pray and say, I'm going to walk in faith, I'm going to trust that my life was meant for more than this, I'm going to trust there's a way where I can't see a way, I'm going to trust that like I'm going to get supported, I'm going to find my purpose, I'm going to find ways around this, right? Then you're going to have to choose to believe in something beyond the narcissist being your source of love, approval, survival, validation, security and support. That's why it's a spiritual kind of ascension in order to break free, right? When we try and break free of it, it's not that you can't, you can. There are things that are helpful in order to help break the trauma bond, break the enmeshment, but a lot of what you're being told is that this is so hard to break. Come into sovereign, you'll break the trauma bond, you might revert back, but you'll know what you're doing and you'll get to choose again. When you think this is so hard for me because it's impossible to break free of, then you're kind of denying your divinity. The power that creates worlds can work through you. Things that have happened in my life when I chose to walk the other way, when I chose that if this is what it is, I will not fuel this evil on the planet. I will not let my energy be used for it. And I certainly will not decide that my life is disempowered unless I completely give up everything I believe in, my values, my heart, the truth of what I know in my soul about, you know, what life can be, right? Then divine intervention could come in and show me things, bring things to me, help me operate in a new way. But there's no faith. Like, you don't walk in faith if you're still walking in fear. You either have to choose, you've got to choose a side, right? If I choose the only way for me to survive on this planet is to abandon myself, right? Give my morality away, because when you're with a narcissist, you know you're living outside of your values, right? If you believe in love, harmony, joy, integrity, kindness, truth, like, you know, the values that so many of us have, you can't live in deception, lies, manipulation, control, domination, and an energy that believes it's above God, right? So if you want the divine to intervene, you have to choose the other side. You have to choose God. You have to say, well, I believe in a higher power than this. I believe that I can, I can choose my values in this life, and I don't have to sell myself out to energies that have seemingly got power and control, right? You could be in situations that are very sticky. You normally are with narcissists, where they seemingly do have the control of your finances, the control of your support system, where they're messing with your mind, right? But ultimately, the spiritual awakening comes in deciding that there's a power beyond this, and that is of true love on the planet, that is of truth on the planet. But you're going to have to walk with faith. You know, like there's a Jesus walks moment when we leave narcissists, where it's like, I don't know how it's all going to work out, but I'm going to choose that this power doesn't get to control my life. I'm going to choose that the darker energies doesn't get to be the only way. right? And they're tempting because they seem to have power over you because you've been conditioned to give your power away. But what if you choose that I get to live in a new way and I'm going to choose my faith in that? Ultimately, most of the time, the reason that you'll stay is because you don't think there's anything more than that for you. Ultimately, once you've broken the trauma bond, when you go back to a narcissist, once you've actually broken the trauma bond, right? So in the work I do, you break the trauma bond. Now it's interesting as to why you go back. Most commonly, you believe that's the only way to get your needs met. That, you know, you won't find love outside of that person, or there's going to be something missing in your life that you've made them God over, right? But divine intervention and miracles and the unexpected and like the miraculous happens when you play a different game. When you're not the one trying to control everything either, because the narcissist tries to control you and you pick up on trying to control everything in your life, which you can't do. You're not God either, right? When we sit in these fixations of why has this happened and and this shouldn't have been this way and all this stuff, it's like if we would just move past that and accept that it has, right? Work on that in the healing, work on acceptance, right? And letting go of having to control our lives to the nth degree. If you can believe in a higher power, a higher plan, a higher vision, and connect to it, right? Then you'll stop trying to control how it all works out and you'll accept that it will. And at that point, when you do that, you've got every power. It doesn't matter what they do to you. We were talking about energy and spiritual attack in Sovereign at the weekend. And I was saying, like, oh, yeah, people will send you dark energy. But, like, it doesn't matter what they send you if you're energetically resilient. If you've got a strong energy field, which is what I teach people how to do, and you're taking up space in the universe, it doesn't matter who throws what at you. Right? Your good cannot be taken from you. Your path is laid out for you. What doesn't seem possible becomes possible. Unexpected things can come up. You can live in a different energy of like, things just work out. Because honestly, like how much can you really control in your life? So what happens in the narcissistic abuse cycle is you get kind of morphed into what they need you to be. They're controlling you and you start trying to control everything in life because you feel unsafe and kind of insecure. When we expand into allowing life to take care of us, allowing God to take care of you, if you choose another path, then you've got to allow that to happen. And actually life can take care of you. Things can work out in better ways than you can imagine in our limited mind. I could never have put together all the events in my life, right? I couldn't see the way. I didn't need to. I needed to be an energetic match to what I wanted and to be walking in faith in accordance to my values, my integrity, what I actually care about, and stop making people who have corrupt values and no morality my source of anything. There must be a better way than this. There must be. I don't have to sell my soul to live on this planet, and I certainly don't have to fuel the dark. So just some food for thought, guys. Lots of love. I'll speak to you soon.